Yes, you're watching the South Australian Sports Show, the NRL, mate. It is going to be a blockbuster of a game. I don't mind telling you, Friday, Adelaide Oval, Roosters and the Storm, the two top teams at the moment in great form. This man.
And a replay of last year's
replay, mate, and the two previous games. We'll get to it in a minute anyway. Let's get to the superstar because he's in a hurry to get out of here to get back to the heat, mate. Luke Williamson joins us. Luke, how are you?
Well, guys, thank you very much for having me.
Mate, 260 NRL games, but it all started here with the Rams, 1997, I reckon.
It was, mate, yeah. Yep. I debuted here in 97, so many moons ago.
Been a bit of a journey, mate, along the way. You've seen a fair bit of footy in that time, over 260 games, mate. So
yeah, it's been great. Rugby league's taken me all around the world, so it was great to start here. But then I got a good opportunity with the Canberra Raiders, so it was great to go there.
Yeah, the Raiders, a good team. Mate.
Look, not a bad organisation. And then I went to the Manly Seagulls for a number of years. And
again, not a bad organisation as well.
Not a bad organisation, not a bad place to live either. On the Northern Beaches in Sydney, pretty good. So,
hey, mate, before we get to this game, before we get to this one, the Rams, they were big when it came here and they started to take off. Is there a chance, don't want to get you in any political trouble, mate, is there a chance we could see another rugby league team form in Adelaide?
I'll sit on the fence, potentially. I think there could be. Look, the game does need to grow. Because it is a national game, obviously, the National Rugby League. But it would be good. When the Rams were here in 97, 98, there was a good sort of interest, good flavour. And there was some minor success. Look, we saw what happened with Melbourne. They put a team in Melbourne, a lot of resources, a good involvement, and look how good they are now. So
we're talking Super League when the Rams first came in. Which is different to what it is today, obviously. Take us back to that. How did you get involved, Rams-wise?
Oh, mate, I was actually on scholarship. I'm from Brisbane in Queensland. I was on scholarship with the South Queensland Crushers, who played in the ARL.
Crushers.
It's a great name, isn't it?
That's a great name.
Say no more. So they offered me a contract, and then Super League offered me the same contract as well. So I sort of just thought, look, I'll take the opportunity down here because there was only two teams, which was 19s and then first grade, for more opportunity. And history speaks for itself. It was a good sort of chance, and it paid off.
But putting all these guys together in one hit, it's like the Crows.
Yeah, well, the first couple of years are going to be pretty
virtually, it is. I mean, it's a bit like...
I think the Rams were more successful than people gave them credit for in the first couple of years.
Well, I didn't know they were too bad.
Yeah, look, I think it was good. It's a shame that they just cut them straight away. That's probably what the disappointing thing is. It could have been good if they put a bit of resource and more sort of energy into it, and where it could have been 3 or 4 years down the track.
Let's get to the big game, mate, Friday night, because it is going to be an absolute blockbuster, as we said. 1v2. They've had two games here. This is the third game here, and both of those have been decided by a kick at the end of the game. Going to be any different in this one?
No, I think it'll be just as close, to be honest, because both teams have both their origin contingent of players playing. And I think it's a vital part for each team in the current season. Because there's a third origin to go. Both teams will have players playing in that origin game. So if they can jab a good win here on Friday night, well, it's going to put their season in good stead.
Latrell Mitchell, mate, he might be a little bit dark after getting dropped after the first state of origin. I mean, you've been around a long time. Do players, do you reckon, rebound out of that? I'm disappointed the way I was treated in the state of origin, a little bit extra in the game coming up.
Oh, look, it's got to be good motivation for him, hasn't it? You know what I mean? You're only as good as your last game, as they say. So he's probably want to come out there and prove all of his critics wrong. And what better stage to do it against arguably one of the best teams in the competition at the moment.
And the Storm were ominous last week against the Knights, mate. They're an amazing team.
They are an amazing team.
Just had an amazing decade, really, haven't they?
Oh, look, arguably, if any team had virtually 3 to 4 immortals in their team for a number of years, I think there's going to be some good success.
There's going to be
but they've all bought into this one good winning culture, that they all do their job and they all work hard, and it's been successful. So.
Now, we've got you in 260 games, the Rams, the Raiders and Manly and whatever, but you're not. What are you doing now? What is your role? Why are you here?
Why am I here?
Why are you talking about it?
He's trying to promote the game, more importantly.
No, I think he's got a job.
Well, I do.
You got a gig.
How good's that? Back in the festival state, but I actually work for the National Rugby League now.
Right, okay.
In education and wellbeing, but primarily for vocation education and training, and promoting that to all the junior players and clubs about the pathway and about how important education and qualification is.
So you've been here in Adelaide doing this?
I have been, mate. We've been around to, I think, just over half a dozen schools in the last couple of days, and promoting to the kids about being an elite athlete. Okay, rugby league's not massive in this state, we understand that, but I think it's good to show what the NRL does and what the NRL SA does in educating and getting within the community to show these kids that if you want to make the next stage, no matter what sport it is, that it's important to be qualified and educated along the way.
Because we had Anthony Minicello here not that long ago with the
Roosters.
Yeah, I mean, he would be here promoting...
The game
they were here with the touch football people and whatever, which they're involved with. Promoting this game, this game coming up. So during the week, even though you're talking to schools about the well-being and whatever, does this game come up Friday night?
It does, because it's on the forefront of these kids' minds. They understand, they know what it is. It's been advertised a bit. So it's a good little starting point. Thinking, there's a game on Friday night, who's playing? Well, it's actually the Storm and the Roosters. And we show some good examples. We've had Gav Lester, a former Roosters player, with us down here at the moment, who's a qualified builder. He goes through examples of what he's done, but also about the importance of what the Roosters have done and how it could be potentially on Friday night.
Wow, big one.
You know, when you go and talk to the schools, mate, most people have... so in my time it was Mal Meninga, Gary Belcher, those type of guys, and then, you know, we jettisoned through to where we are now, and they talk about some of the greats. The school kids got any idols when you're talking to them? Do they ask you about any specific rugby league player? Is there one that sticks out?
The schools down here, a couple of them have, but they've actually asked, because they've all sort of seen it along some point in time. I think the Origin's been quite good. It's good advertisement for that. And a few examples that we show, there is Origin players in that who are doing their education and stuff like that. So it helps with the Melbourne Storm playing against the Roosters on Friday night. Like that helps, because they're sort of like, we've heard of the Storm, we know he does that, and blah, blah, blah. So...
You would have played under Mal. You at Canberra.
Big Mal,
Mal, one of the great players, one of our great politicians.
He's one of the immortals, mate.
He's one of the immortals. Well, exactly right. But he's a character. I'll never forget his press conference as a Polly.
You're pretty impressed by that?
It was unbelievable. It was one of the great press conferences. Very short and sharp.
He makes one mistake in his career and Baz is on it.
I'm all over
One
him.
mistake.
I'm all over him.
Well, at least he got up and left.
Exactly right.
It wasn't for him.
Exactly right.
Should I?
No. I've had a couple of these.
Like, Wally Lewis, you're up in Queensland. You're on the Sunshine Coast. Is there a bigger name than Alfie Langer and Wally Lewis in Queensland?
No, there's not. And I don't think there ever will be, to be honest. Like, the era that they came through was when obviously professional rugby league was starting to generate, but just the work that they did in the Origin arena was just remarkable. You know, any video you watch, it's of those two. And he won 8 Men of the Match awards, which is just unheard of.
It's amazing because with the AFL we get geared on that, and there's a bit of envy about the NRL that they've been able to maintain state of origin, because we've wanted the South Australia v Victoria, and I know, spending time in Canberra, I had no idea how passionate the players were about it. I mean, just to give the viewers an idea, because they don't understand unless they've been around the rugby. Mal Meninga, Laurie Daly, the two biggest players at that time playing together for the Canberra Raiders, one's New South Wales, one's Queensland. They didn't talk to each other for the whole time of State of Origin was on. So they go to training with the Raiders, wouldn't talk to each other, didn't talk about the game, didn't talk about the game coming up. It's almost unheard of, isn't it?
But it still goes on. Like,
today,
even to this day. Like, being involved in rugby league for a long period of time, as soon as that comes around late May, coming into the June first Origin game, like, we won't talk to other people, or they just react a bit differently. So, because I hope New South Wales lose, and we hope Queensland wins, and it's vice versa.
State of Origin's coming here too. So, next year we've got a game here. It'll be fantastic.
So, look, we'd love to be in a corporate box together. Maybe get something happening, big fella.
You can do that, no problem at all.
I'll jump on board if you don't mind.
No.
Baz has got all the pull.
That's it. You know what I mean? So,
that's right.
To promote big guy.
Hey, quickly, Luke, before we let you go, I mean, it is Storm Roosters. It's a massive game. Who do you reckon's going to get it?
Personally, I reckon the Storm will get them. I really do. I think I can see some people upset about that. But I think they will. I think look, they've got all their contingent back together now, and I think they might just get the wood on the Roosters.
And Origin 3.
Look, it's tailor-made for New South Wales, but the pressure's on New South Wales now.
Yeah, my word it is,
It wasn't, you couldn't say it was in Game 2. Technically, obviously, they had to win the game, but they made some changes and they played a better game, but I'm hoping Queensland will win.
Okay. In your time, quickly, last question, then we'll let you go, because I know you've got to go to the airport. Best player you reckon you played against over your journey, or played with?
Look, I have to say, Laurie Daly was arguably one of the best players. And Steve Menzies. But one of the other... The greats that I did play with was Jamie Lyon.
Okay.
Jamie Lyon played for New South Wales and played for Australia at a young age, and just the most gifted athletes I've ever seen. But to play at Canberra for those years with Laurie was phenomenal.
Yeah,
great.
Really good.
All right, Luke Williamson was our special guest. You need to be at Adelaide Oval Friday night. It will be an absolute belter, but if you can't get to that one, you better get to State of Origin next year. It will be one of the best games you ever go to see in your life. Stay with us, still a bit more to come.